Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum, students and fellow physics enthusiasts. Today's video is a revised excerpt of a past upload on fluid dynamics, specifically the Bernoulli's principle. So just stick around, watch and learn. The problem is a pipe leads from a storage tank on the roof of a building to the ground floor. The absolute pressure of the water in the storage tank where it connects to the pipe is 3.0 times 10 to the fifth power Pascal. The pipe has a radius of 1.0 centimeters where it connects to the tank, and the speed of flow in this pipe is 1.6 meters per second. The pipe on the ground floor has a radius of 0.50 centimeters and is 9.0 meters below the storage tank. Find letter A, the speed of flow, and letter B, the pressure in the pipe on the ground floor. In this problem, we are given the absolute pressure denoted by P sub 1 equal to 3.0 times 10 to the fifth power Pascal. So this is the absolute pressure in the pipe located at the rooftop tank. This pipe has a radius small r sub 1 equal to 1.0 centimeters. So this is the radius of pipe 1. And the water flow speed denoted by V sub 1 equal to 1.6 meters per second, right? So that is the speed of the water at pipe number 1. We are also given the position y sub 2 equal to negative 9.0 meters. So this is the position of pipe number 2, okay, below the storage tank. It is negative because our point of reference here is the bottom of the storage tank at the rooftop, all right, which we denote as y sub 1. And our target variables in part A is the water flow speed denoted by B sub 2. So this refers to the flow speed or water flow speed at pipe number 2. And in part B, all right, the absolute pressure in pipe number 2 on the ground floor denoted here by P sub 2. To find the first target variable, v sub 2, we apply the what they call the equation of continuity, as shown in the figure. All right, the rate of water flow in a pipe with varying diameters or radius is always constant or the same. Flow rate is equal to the product of the cross-sectional area of the pipe and the flow speed as given in this equation, right? So capital A sub 1 refers to the cross-sectional area of one uh, part of the pipe, right? For example, the bigger uh, diameter of the pipe in the figure, the one with the bigger diameter. Okay, it follows that the bigger the diameter, the bigger is the cross-sectional area. So if that is capital A sub 1 and V sub 1 pertains to the water flow speed at this point, okay, of the pipe. All right, so their product, A sub 1 times B sub 1, is what we call the rate of flow of the water, right, in this bigger pipe. In other words, when water is flowing here, right, uh, the rate of flow is equal to A sub 1 times B sub 1, right? While the right side or the right part of the pipe, the smaller pipe, has a cross-sectional area, capital A sub 2, and the flow speed of the water here is denoted by B sub 2. So the product of A2 and V sub 2 is also equal to the flow rate, right? Or the rate of flow of the water when the water is in this smaller pipe. Okay, it's understood that the two pipes are connected and that water flows from the left to the right. All right. So the equation of continuity says that the flow rate, okay, in this pipe is always constant. And that is expressed in this equation of continuity. So from this equation, we can deduce that the flow speed of the water, right, is inversely proportional to the cross-sectional area of that part of the pipe. In other words, the bigger the pipe or the larger the diameter of the cross-sectional area, all right, the lower is the flow speed of water, all right? That is what we can deduce from this equation of continuity. So in part A of our problem, okay, we are tasked to compute, okay, the speed v sub 2, right? So if we stick to our diagram, B sub 2 is the speed of the water when it is at the smaller pipe. So when we isolate that from this original equation of continuity, all right, isolating B2, we come up with this working formula, all right, where V2 is equal to the product of capital A sub 1 times B sub 1 divided by capital A of 2. So when we substitute the given quantities, B sub 2 equals uh, the value of pi multiplied by the square of uh, the radius, all right? The radius corresponding to the bigger cross-sectional area, which is given in the problem, 1.0 times 10 raised to the negative 2 meter, all right? But that has to be squared because the formula for area is pi r squared. And then, based on our working formula, that will also be multiplied by the given value of B sub 1, which is 1.6 meters per second. All right? And then to be divided by the product of pi and the square of R2, where R2 is the corresponding radius, all right, of the smaller pipe, right? Uh, we can actually predict, all right, the what we call water flow speed V2, all right, basing it on the relationship of V2, all right, with capital A sub 1, B sub 1, and A sub 2. Okay? So, the equation of continuities, all right, is telling us that uh, the flow speed is inversely proportional to the cross-sectional area, right? So, uh, we can predict what the value of V2 is, or how many times is V2 greater than V1. Okay? Since V1, capital A sub 1 and capital A sub 2 are all given, okay? If the value of V1, all right, which is given 1.6 meter per second, and that the radius, right, the radius of the cross-sectional area, A sub 1, is twice, right, twice greater than the radius R2, or the corresponding radius of the cross-sectional area of the smaller pipe, all right, we say that if the radius is uh, doubled, or in this case, if the radius is halved, all right, because R1 is twice greater than R2, all right. So if the water flows into the smaller uh, tube, okay, with a radius that is only half of the radius of the bigger tube, okay, we can predict that its speed, the speed of the water flow, all right, will increase 4 times, all right, or B2 will be 4 times greater than the value of V1, all right? That is what we can predict based on the uh, meaning of the equation of continuity, all right? So, to verify our prediction, we can, in fact, do our math, all right? Which in this case, we have the value of pi uh, being cancelled, right? And then we will be dividing 1.0 times 10 raised to the negative 2 squared by 0.50 times 10 to the negative 2 squared, and then multiplying them or their quotient by 1.6 meters per second. So when you do that, we get the value of B sub 2 equal to 6.4 meters per second. And as we predicted, V2 is indeed 4 times larger compared to B sub 1, because B sub 1 equals 1.6 meters per second, while B sub 2, our target variable, is 6.4 meters per second, 4 times larger compared to B sub 1. In answering question letter B, we recall Bernoulli's principle, which states that the whole mechanical energy of the moving fluid, which includes gravitational potential energy of elevation, fluid pressure energy, and kinetic energy of fluid motion, remains constant. A typical example of a pipe where the Bernoulli's equation applies is shown in the diagram in figure 2. It is assumed that the flow of the liquid water is steady, or what we call streamlined, and that the water is considered incompressible, where the density of the water always remains constant, and that uh, the liquid friction, or what we call viscosity, is negligible. Notice that uh, in this case, all right, shown in figure 2, all right, the water flow here is both horizontal and vertical, where the pressure change involves both a change in the water's kinetic energy per unit volume and a change in gravitational potential energy per volume. When applied to the problem situation, uh, the working formula that we're going to use in computing uh, the target variable, all right, in part B, that is the absolute pressure P2, all right? This is the Bernoulli's equation that is appropriate to our problem situation. P2 equals P1 minus 1 half multiplied by the density of water and also multiplied by quantity v sub 2 squared minus v sub 1 squared minus the product of the density of water and acceleration due to gravity and multiplied by quantity y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Right? So this equation is uh, Bernoulli's equation, which actually is another version of the work energy theorem applied to fluids such as water flowing in a pipe. Okay, so the part of the equation representing the change in pressure due to the change in speed or kinetic energy per unit volume is the term 1/2 the product of density and uh, the difference in the square of uh, the speed of flow of the water. All right. So, given the values of the density and uh, the speed, all right, B2 and V1, okay, for the speed V2, we already have obtained its value earlier in our computation. Right, so the change in the kinetic energy per unit volume will be equal to 1/2 multiplied by 1.0 times 10 raised to the third kilogram per meter cube. That is the density of uh, liquid water. And then the value of V sub 2, right? 6.4 meters per second, and that will be squared, minus uh, the value of V sub 1 given in the problem, 1.6 meters per second, that will also be squared. So when you do our math, okay, we get the value of delta K E, all right, over capital V, or the change in the kinetic energy per unit volume equal to 1.9 times 10 raised to the fourth power Pascal, which is the absolute pressure associated to the change in the speed as well as the change in the kinetic energy, all right, of a given volume of the water. Likewise, we're also expressing here uh, the pressure that is due to the change in the elevation or height, all right? Uh, We call this the change in the gravitational potential energy per unit volume, all right, of the water. And that term in the equation earlier is the product of the water's density and acceleration due to gravity multiplied by the difference in the height, all right, denoted by y sub 2 minus y sub 1. And substituting the given quantities, okay, we have the delta PE per unit volume equals 1.0 times 10 to the third kilogram per meter cube as the density of the water, and then multiplied by G, 9.8 meter per second squared, and multiplied also by the change in the elevation or position, okay, using the rooftop as our reference that's labeled as y sub 1. And the position of pipe number 2 located on the ground floor is labeled here as y sub 2 equal to negative 9.0 meters. So when you do our math, of course, we get negative 8.8 times 10 raised to the fourth power Newton per meter squared. Or the unit can also be Pascal. So the delta PE per unit volume, okay, is equal to negative 8.8 times 10 to the fourth power Pascal, which is the absolute pressure associated to the change in height or elevation, all right, of the given volume of water. So the negative sign, of course, um, indicates that the pressure delta PE over V, all right, it's the result of using the rooftop, all right, where pipe number 1, all right, connected to the storage tank is located. And that um, pipe number 2, which is located on the ground floor, okay, has a corresponding pressure, okay, that is negative, all right, 8.8 times 10 to the fourth power Pascal. Okay, so this particular absolute pressure, when combined with uh, delta KE per unit volume later on, okay, as well as the value of P1, okay, in our computation for the final target variable, okay, the sign here, negative, is essential for us to be able to correctly determine the pressure, okay, at the pipe located on the ground floor. Moving on now to our computation of the pressure in pipe number 2, we bring back our working formula, okay, the derived Bernoulli equation, to determine P2. So, substituting our given and known quantities, P2 equals 3.0 times 10 to the P Pascal. So this is the given absolute pressure P1 given in the problem. And then minus the amount of pressure, okay, equivalent to the change in the kinetic energy per unit volume, okay, that we earlier computed 1.9 times 10 to the 4th power Pascal. And then minus, all right, minus the pressure associated to the change in the gravitational potential energy per unit volume of water, which we also calculated earlier, okay, the one with the negative sign, negative 8.8 times 10 to the 4th power Pascal. But in our Bernoulli equation, take note that both of these pressures, right, are to be deducted, right, to be deducted, hence the minus signs that we have here, to be deducted from the pressure P1, all right, which is 3.0 times 10 to the 5th power Pascal. And that would become P2 with a value of 3.7 times 10 to the 5th power Pascal. All right? So notice that the value of P2 is greater than the value of P1. Okay, P1 being equal only to 3.0 times 10 to the 5th power Pascal. So, if you try to get the sum of these two pressures, 1.9 times 10 to the 4th power Pascal, plus, that becomes plus because of the double negative. So plus 8.8 times 10 to the 4th power Pascal, all right? Their sum will also be equal to the difference between P2 and P1. So, since P2 that we have computed here is 3.7 times 10 to the P Pascal, when we deduct P1 from P2, right, or 3.7 times 10 to the P Pascal minus 3.0 times 10 to the P Pascal, we get a difference of 0.7 times 10 to the P power Pascal. And that will be equal to, all right, that will be equal to the sum of negative 1.9 times 10 to the 4th power and positive 8.8 times 10 to the 4th power Pascal. That is one way of checking our answer. And logically also, we expect that the value of the pressure, okay, in the pipe located at the ground floor must indeed be higher compared to the pressure P1 or the pressure in the pipe located at the rooftop. All right? By how much greater? Well, P2 will be greater by as much as the pressure differences, okay, brought about by the changes in the speed or kinetic energy per unit volume of the water and the change in the gravitational potential energy, all right, due to the change in the elevation. So on that note, may I say mabuhay? Till the next episode, MashaAllah. Thank you very much for your indulgence. Please don't forget to subscribe